What's up, Patreon family? Listen, we are back with another energy for the week. And funny enough, fortunate enough, amazingly enough, this energy of the week is falling directly on the new moon in Cancer. So we have a lot of powerful spiritual energy that we're tapping into. I'm very interested to see what spirit gives us for this week. What I first and foremost want y'all to know, I want you to know what the Cancer energy is. First of all, think about any Cancer zodiac people that you know. Think about people that you know who reside in that Cancerian energy. What type of character traits do you admire about them? What do you observe about them that you think needs some work? I think the best way to utilize some of the zodiacal energy is to assess the people that are closest to you. And then if you don't have anybody that you know, you could also research different celebrities, different famous people who are in that zodiac, and get you some information off of that, right? Base those qualities and personality traits that you want to embody and that you probably want to let go of off of that. So even just looking at it really quickly, wow, there are some very powerful, well, I love celebrities who are cancers, right? You have Solange Knowles, which is Beyonce's sister. She's a cancer. Love that because Solange is, she's, she seems very natural, right? She's very natural in her essence, how she feels. She's very unique. She's very different. It's like her approach to life is not exactly the same as her big sister, Beyonce. Elon Musk is a cancer, very innovative. I don't see him necessarily nurturing children, but clearly he knows how to nurture businesses, okay, for his growth. Tom Cruise is another cancer celebrity who has Mission Impossible coming out. So he stay active. He's working, he's grinding, he is in his bag, okay? Another powerful cancer zodiac person I see here is Fantasia. Y'all all know Fantasia. She sings very emotionally, very powerfully. She's very she's a religious woman, but I also see her being very, very spiritually in tune and spiritually connected. Okay. So that's another, those are just a few celebrities who are cancers that you all can reflect on, and you can do more research so that you can see what are some of the characteristics of those people that you like, and what are some of the characteristics of those people that you may embody that needs to be changed. So I always say that when it comes down to understanding these new moons and these specific zodiacs, what we're talking about is energy. What we're talking about is a quality. What we're talking about is a personality trait. And so again, the Cancer energy is all about sensitivity. It's about intuition. It's about that divine dark, let's say this, it's about that divine dark feminine energy, right? It's about a sense of protection. Okay, it's about a sense of protection. It's about imagination and illusion, because the Cancer zodiac is actually the planet that governs it is the moon. So we know when we're dealing with the moon, we're dealing with fears, we're dealing with illusions, we're dealing with the subconscious mind. So as we embark on this journey in this Cancer new moon energy, I want you to understand that this is a time where you're going to have to reflect on your mother. This is a time where you're going to have to reflect on your foundation. This is a time where you're going to have to look at, are you overly protective of yourself, where you do not allow yourself to be vulnerable and feel the emotions that you feel? Are you so serious that you need to take a step back and give yourself permission to just flow? This Cancer energy is also asking you to tap into this internal wisdom, this love, and this power that you have innately. It's also asking you to lean into that intuition, though the messages and the downloads that you may receive, though it may be different, though it may be unusual, though it may seem out of the ordinary from what you are used to during this Cancer moon phase. In this season, this is the time for you to intentionally lean into that, to connect to your deepest emotions and know that you are safe, okay? But something that I also want y'all to consider this week is, are you overly protective of yourself? Because sometimes we do that. Sometimes, especially with the Cancer energy, it's a crab, right? The symbol is of a crab, or the 69. And what we're actually seeing energetically and spiritually is this hard protective shell that we surround ourselves in, right? This shell that makes us feel safe, which we do need that shell. But there are a lot of times when we have to come out of that and know that we are equipped with the mental, emotional skills to deal with whatever challenges this reality may give us, right? And so sometimes the downfall of that Cancerian energy is that we are overly protective of ourselves and we do not take risks. We do not put ourselves out there. We do not venture into uncomfortable spaces and places because we don't know if we have what it takes. But spiritually, you have everything that you need. So this week, with this Cancer new moon, I want you to explore new territory. Okay. In the tarot, the Chariot card is representing the Cancer energy. And on the Chariot card, you see the guy, he's on his chariot. Of course, he has a black Sphinx and a white Sphinx, which symbolize balancing the masculine and the feminine energy. And he's clearly on a journey because the chariot is taking you from one place to the other. So with this Cancer new moon energy, what Spirit is asking us is, how can we venture outside of our comfort zone and make a home for ourselves and create a level of safety and security outside of this shell that we're used to living in? Yes, the shell is good, but sometimes that shell, that protection, that armor that we put on ourselves, sometimes it can be the very blockage that stops us from getting to where we got to go. So that's just a quick overview. Let's get into these cards. We're going to be using the Whispers of Love card, Oracle deck. And the reason why I want to use that deck is because with the Cancer energy, we are talking about that mama energy. We're talking about big mama energy. We're talking about nurturing, loving, providing. And one of the very first things that we experience from our moms is love. In fact, one of the very first things that we experience from our moms is protection. When we are in our mother's wombs, this is the safest place for us to be. So we're going to use the Whispers of Love deck because I feel like it's very important for us to realize what ways we need to love and nourish ourselves more in this time. The very first card that came out for this deck is Consider Your Foundation. Now that's funny because that goes back to what I just said originally. When we're considering our foundation in this Cancerian energy, we're considering the relationship that we have with our mother, the lessons that we've learned from our mother, and how our mother instilled safety, security, and love inside of us. And I want you to assess if you actually felt cared for, nurtured, provided for, and safe in your mother's presence. This is so funny. I was on Instagram the other day and I saw a post that said, children are more likely to get hurt when they're around their mother. Children are more likely to act out when they're around their mother. And these different psychologists and psychiatrists, they were doing studies to try to figure out why that is. And they had determined that the reason why children are more likely to act out and more likely to get hurt when they are around their mothers is because they feel safer. They feel safe to explore and take risks when they're around their mother, right? That's not to say that they don't feel that way with their father, but it is something about the mother's energy, the mother's spirit that makes the child feel okay with reaching new heights and reaching new boundaries and doing things differently. Mothers create this energy of you can do it. And so when we're considering our foundation, I want you to look at some of the lessons your mother has taught you, whether they were positive or negative lessons. And I want you to see how committed you are now to loving yourself, nourishing yourself, and creating a safe space for yourself. I want you to realize and recognize if the relationship that you have with your mother has made you afraid to do things new. Maybe your mother was overly protective, right? Maybe your mother did not let you explore and do things that were out of the ordinary. Maybe your mother kept you sheltered. Maybe she was living in some sort of fear. So if that was the case, you want to really reflect on that, and you want to do the alchemy to change and transform that. The other card that just came out, it says, love makes the difference. Love makes the difference. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you know what? And that makes sense with this Cancer new moon energy, because you need to understand that when you're trying to grow, when you're trying to expand, and when you're trying to become your best self, there are going to be some scary truths that you have to face. There's going to be some traumas that you're going to have to overcome. There are going to be some challenges and some mountains that you have to climb. But if you live in love and you continue to nourish yourself and love on yourself, and if you continue to remain committed, you know, Cancers are some of the most committed people out there, right? I saw this other little tweet or something that said least likely to cheat on you, and Cancer was on that list, right? People who are Cancers, that's because they're so deeply committed to loving and protecting what is theirs. And so when we're looking at love makes the difference, I want you to ask yourself, how committed are you to pursuing these new goals that are making you get uncomfortable, that are putting you in new situations and circumstances? But how do you love yourself through those challenges? How do you still utilize some of that Cancer energy in this new moon energy? How do you still use that love to propel yourself forward? This card says, love helps heal past hurt and provides a sense of security and self-worth. Okay? So as you are doing new things, as you are facing some of those old wounds, as you are overcoming some of your past challenges, love is required, compassion is required, sensitivity is required. And what this does is it makes you feel safe as you are on that journey, which is necessary. Like I said, sometimes that Cancer and energy can be overly protective, overly guarded, overly shielded, and afraid of vulnerability. What we're leaning into right now is this deep sense of love, compassion, and empathy for ourselves. So even when we're venturing into the unknown, even when we're doing new things, even when we're pushing ourselves to new heights and new levels, okay, we allow love to make us feel safe in those moments. And the reason why I want to really stress to y'all that we are in a time right now where you have to be stretching yourself, that is because, you know, in the Mystic Mind Conference, I did the spiritual pregnancy build. And ever since then, I keep on receiving downloads and insights pertaining to that. And just the other day, when I did the Mystic Mind recap, I talked about how we're in a time where you have to be digging for your internal gold, meaning looking for your magic, because your magic is gold. The thing is that many of you have discovered your magic. Many of you have discovered your gold. Many of you know how unique and how divine you are. But because some of your mother wounds, you're not allowing yourself to venture outside of your comfort zone to pursue that magic, to pursue that gold, right? And to live your life in alignment with the knowing that you are special, with the knowing that you are chosen, with the knowing that you have a divine specific calling. And a lot of that starts in childhood, right? So we got to ask ourselves if our mothers made us feel okay in uncomfortable situations, if our mothers equipped us with the tools and with the skills to be vulnerable, because anytime we're learning something new, we're in a state of vulnerability, but to know that we're okay in that space, we're safe in that space. So you have to lean into love this week and allow that love to make you feel a sense of security and self-worth as you are pursuing your magic, your gold, your destiny, your purpose. We are in a time right now where you're being stretched because many of you are pregnant, right? Like I'm physically pregnant with a baby, right? But many of you are pregnant with ideas, right? With purpose or with a manifestation. And with that, you're going to have to be stretched, right? You're going to have to be pushed and pulled in different directions in order for you to grow. Hence, my belly growing as big as it's growing throughout this pregnancy. That growth doesn't feel comfortable. That growth doesn't always feel good. That growth doesn't always feel nice. But you have to know that your love for self and nurturing yourself and being sensitive with yourself and being compassionate with yourself is what's going to allow you to stretch as far as you need to stretch until it is time for you to birth that new reality and birth that new existence. Okay. So this is very, very powerful energy that is happening right now. Another card that came out for us for this Cancer new moon is physical touch. Oh my God, all the Cancers that I know are super affectionate, are super lovey-dovey, are super touchy. I have a best friend named Victoria. So funny. You know, when I was a kid, my mother was not a hugger. Y'all let me know in the comments if your mother was a hugger or not. My mother was not a hugger. And I remember every time my best friend Victoria would come over and she would see my mom, she would give my mom a hug. And it was so awkward and so uncomfortable for me. Like I would just be like, I would just feel so weird about it because I don't hug my mom, but my best friend Victoria, who's a Cancer, she always hugs my mom and she always hugs her family as well. That's that physical touch. What I realize now is that physical touch can mean so much and it can be so healing. And we need that. So I encourage you all this week with this Cancer new moon, I encourage you to allow yourself to exchange a hug. It has been scientifically proven that if you hug someone for 10 seconds, the body, both of you guys' body, whoever you're hugging, your body starts releasing serotonin. It starts to release those and oxytocin. It starts to release those feel good hormones that can heal and that can raise your vibration, that can help you with releasing depressed energy and emotions. So this Cancer energy, again, it's all about that love, that nurturing, that healing. And if you did not receive that, like I'm telling y'all right now, I did not receive hugs. So now, like with my kids and with Dream, I have to be very intentional about reaching out, hugging them, touching them, loving them, because that's not my love language, right? So understand this, whenever we're in a new moon, we're talking about new energy, new intentions, right? New energy and new intentions. And so with that means you're going to have to do some things differently, okay? And I want y'all, from this new moon to the full moon, I want you to stay focused on the energies that we're talking about today, because these energies are the energies that are going to support you in getting to that goal and getting to your goals and getting into who you are designed and meant to be. All right. I want to pull one more card because I'm using the Isis Oracle deck, and I'm using that deck because Isis is just the mother, right? Isis is just the love, the love, the mother, the nurturer. And I want to see if there's a specific mother energy that we're needing to tap into that maybe we got two. Ooh. All right. So the first card is, wow, I love this. The first card is Goddess of 10,000 Names. And then the second card is Truth Unveiled. It says the revelations of Isis. This is so good, especially when it comes down to this Cancer new moon energy, because all of us have that divine goddess, divine feminine energy inside of us, whether you are a man or a woman. And Isis has endless emanations or manifestations. So what they're saying is that the goddess Isis is Oshun. She is, of course, Aset. She is Aphrodite. She is Lakshmi. She is all of those divine feminine energies encapsulated into one. So how I want you to use that energy in this Cancer new moon is understand that your mother and all the divine feminine energies that are around you are an emanation of a goddess. So don't think that just because your mother did or did not do this, that she still isn't embodying goddess energy. Because I can guarantee you, if you do enough deep dive and enough research, you will discover a goddess who your mom's personalities and qualities are kind of reflective of. And you can use that for your power, for your healing, and for your transformation. So the goddess of 10,000 names is just telling you, don't limit divine feminine energy to just, okay, oh, this is Oshun, or oh, this is Lakshmi, or this is Hathor, or all of these names and all of these energies and qualities that you're already used to and familiar with. Even some of the ugliest, even some of the most not the most attractive traits can still be attached to a divine sacred energy if you choose to see it that way. And then the last card, like I said, is Truths Unveiled. And so what that means is within that divine sacred feminine energy is infinite wisdom. How do we know that? Because we all come from the cosmic womb. And within the cosmic womb is infinite potential, infinite wisdom, infinite information. Why? Infinite truth. Why is that? Because it is the cosmic womb that births all life. It is the cosmic womb, or what they call the black dot or the black hole, that actually birthed this universe into existence. And we as women, through our wombs and through our sacred space, we have a direct connection to that. And when we connect with our divine masculine counterpart, or when we just connect to our sacred portals, we have access to infinite truth, right? We have access to the revelations of Isis, the great mother. All right. So in this new moon in Cancer energy, and for this entire month, I want you to be reflecting on your mother. I want you to be reflecting on the energies that you are embodying that your mother gave you, and the energies that you may regret or resent that you've picked up from your mother. Okay. We're going to keep talking about this throughout the month. I love y'all. Peace and love. Let me know in the comments if y'all are excited about this energy, if this energy feels relevant to your life right now. Peace.